Today, we're diving into a simple but honestly a really profound idea. It's this concept that challenges us to look right past the material world, suggesting that the most powerful forces in our lives are actually the ones we can't even see or touch.
It all really boils down to this one phrase, Shangji Wuxing. And what it means is, the highest wisdom is formless. Now that sounds simple, right? But packed inside that little statement is a whole philosophy about what truly matters in life.
So let me ask you this. What could possibly connect an unseen act of kindness, this idea of a treasure in heaven, and even the usefulness of an empty space? Well, it turns out that some of the greatest thinkers in history, we're talking the Buddha, Jesus, Laozi, they were all pointing to the exact same answer. The most powerful things are the ones we just can't see.
All right, so to really get this idea of formless, we got to start with what it's not. And that means we have to talk about the world of form. You know what I mean? The visible, material world of stuff, of status, of appearances. It's the world that so easily grabs our attention and, let's be honest, our ambitions too.
And this contrast is everything. Look, you can paint your eyebrows perfectly and wear the reddest lipstick, but does that actually create a good temperament? Nope. You can drive the most expensive car, have a whole crew of bodyguards, but that doesn't just grant you natural elegance. The form, it's just decoration. It can't create that formless essence inside.
And you know what? The same thing goes for intellect. You could fill a study with thousands of books, sip the finest teas, and look like the perfect scholar. But having all the symbols of knowledge is a totally different thing from actually having wisdom, that ability to speak what the source calls words of gold and jade.
The source material uses this brilliant metaphor to really hit this point home. It says a sparrow might catch a lucky gust of wind and soar higher than an eagle for a second. But that little moment doesn't change what it is. It's still a sparrow. Our external wins, our accomplishments on the outside, they don't change our essential nature on the inside.
Okay, so if getting tangled up in form is a trap, then where does real power actually come from? Well, the answer is in the intangible, in the strength that's found in what we can't see. You know, real strength doesn't have to be loud or flashy. A master swordsman's skill isn't really in the sword, it's in his mind. A single scientist's intellect can be way more powerful than a whole army. It kind of reminds you of that old saying, right? A barking dog rarely bites. Real power is quiet, it's confident. It doesn't need to shout about itself. Let's make this even clearer with a modern example. And this one comes straight from our source material. I want you to picture a high-voltage wire. It might just look like a boring piece of metal, just sitting there, totally still, totally silent. But you wouldn't dare touch it, would you? Of course not. But why? I mean, it's not moving, it's not making a sound. What is it that gives that simple wire such immense, dangerous power?
The answer is it's unseen. It's formless, potential energy. The power is completely invisible, just humming inside that wire. You can't see the volts, but you know their potential is there. And that is the perfect metaphor for our big idea today. Why? Because the highest wisdom is formless.
So now that we've kind of got this contrast between form and the formless down, our source gives us a really cool framework to go even deeper. It's called the 4 levels of wisdom. Let's just walk up this ladder real quick. Down in the bottom, you have lower wisdom. This level is totally lost in form. It's all about rules, systems, how things look. Then you climb up to middle wisdom, which is obsessed with striving. It's busy with laws, actions, always doing something. Then great wisdom goes higher. It focuses on spirit, things like culture and civilization. But at the very top, the absolute pinnacle, is highest wisdom. It goes beyond all that. It's just at home in the formless world of the soul. So look, this is a beautiful philosophy, but how do we actually use it? I mean, how do we climb that ladder? And that brings us to our last part here, how to apply this formless wisdom in our own everyday lives. Think about raising kids, for instance. The form approach is to buy all the toys, force them into piano and dance lessons, and worry constantly about their future status. But the formless approach, it's about something so much deeper. It's about helping them build a strong inner character, a heart that's full of truth, goodness, beauty, and love. Now that is the real gift. And it's the exact same principle with spirituality. The form approach is, building huge temples, making offerings, chanting words over and over. But the formless path, that's an inside job. It's about quieting all the noise on the outside so you can find that spark of the divine inside your own heart. I absolutely love this line from the source material.
It says, the best feng shui is a good heart. I mean, think about that. We spend so much time and energy trying to arrange our homes, our offices, for better feng shui, better energy flow. But this suggests that the most powerful feng shui of all, the real source of good fortune and harmony, isn't about where you put your furniture. It's about the state of your own heart.
And this isn't just an idea from one single philosophy. As the source text actually points out, the Prophet Muhammad said it perfectly: true wealth is the wealth of the soul. It's just another powerful reminder that what we build up internally, our character, our kindness, our wisdom, that is infinitely more valuable than anything we could ever own on the outside.
So, we're going to end on that thought. If the highest wisdom really is formless, and the best feng shui is a good heart, well, that leaves a pretty big question for all of us, doesn't it? Forget about all the external projects for just a minute. What are you building in your inner world?